Yeah, if you've never seen me before, I'm Coin Ring Maker from coinringmaker.com. Today we're going to be doing a live video where you get to see me go step by step on how I make my coin rings. The coin we're going to be working on is this 90% silver proof 1996 quarter. Very, very nice condition. And we're going to make this into a size 9 ring today. I am just going to wait a little bit for a couple more people to get in here before I get started so everybody can see the whole process. If anybody has any questions while I'm working on this, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you guys don't mind tapping the screen, that helps TikTok know I'm doing a good job. Currently we've got 0 likes on the live, so if we can get that to maybe like 10, that would be pretty cool. And if you're interested in getting a coin ring made by me, I'm going to go ahead and share the link for that down here in the comments, so you can check that out whenever you want. You can shop right here on this TikTok live. It's going to be pretty cool live, I think. I really like these 90% silver proof quarters. They're very pretty. We'll get a really good look at this coin before we get started. How is this in 1996? In 1964, they stopped producing 90% silver coins into circulation, right? They started making the copper-clad ones. But in 1992, they started producing these silver-proof mint sets. And that's where I can get these 90% silver coins. So these are from sets basically produced for collectors. So this really isn't intended to be circulated. And that's where I get them. Let me see if I've got it. Yeah, so here's an example of what that looks like. And it will say silver-proof sets. So they made copper-proof sets and silver-proof sets. If you're looking to get this, you really want to make sure it says silver on it. And it comes with a couple different coins. And you get a proof penny, a nickel, a dime, a $50 and a quarter. I've already used the $50 from this set. But the $50, the quarter, and the dime are 90% silver. And it even comes with a little proof of authenticity, and it also tells you what the metal makeup is. So you can see here the leak and cent is copper plated zinc, and the nickel is nickel plated copper, and then the rest of them are 90% silver. So if that's what you're looking for, you want a silver proof set. And they started producing these in 1992. So there is a gap between 64 and 92 where it's pretty tricky to find silver coins. Sorry, I went a little deep on that. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for hanging out. We got 1,600 likes on this live. The first step to make this into a ring is going to be punching a hole right in the middle of it. And that is actually a pretty difficult task unless you have some specialized tools. Lucky for me, I have some specialized tools. So this is really cool. This is a auto-centering punch. So as I tighten this down on the coin, we're going to lay that on this platform here. There's kind of a cone shape on the top. So it's going to auto-center the coin right in the middle. Very, very handy. I'm going to lay down a little bit of blue paper towel. This is going to help protect the details on the coin here. And then we'll just screw that down. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Tighten that down, and we'll just hammer it on through. I like to use a 1/2-inch punch. That's what this is, if anyone's curious. And just like that. Got a nice 1/2-inch center punch with really, really nice detail on it still. That one piece of blue paper towel really makes a big difference. Let's check out our coin and see how it's going. If you guys know anybody who might like this live, feel free to share it, you know? Pretty cool. There is... Thank you, Mr. B. I appreciate you sharing the live. There's our quarter. And if you look on the inside here, you can see it's actually pretty rough and it's sharp to the touch. So that's not very good for jewelry. So what we're going to do is clean that up with another pretty interesting tool. This is called a deburring tool. It's got a really sharp curved blade on it that rotates around. This is usually used by plumbers, but I find it's very useful for cleaning out the inside of our coins. So that is the next step here. And we're just going to clean that up. Flip it over and do the other side. Very nice. And you can see on the inside how nice and smooth that is now. It's a really great tool for cleaning up that inside cut edge. We're going to set our silver scraps aside so we don't knock them over. And we can move on to the next part, which is called annealing. So as I work on this and change the shape of it, it's going to work harden. And they've already hardened it at the mint. So what we're going to do is anneal it. That's going to soften this metal up. And how we do that is with a bit of fire. I'll just get that right in frame here. And y'all, safety first, be careful. But we're going to go ahead and heat this up. And for 90% silver, I usually look for a pretty distinct change in color on the coin itself. It'll turn kind of a nice golden color. And that's usually where I stop annealing. So you can kind of see that here. It is hot. I'm going to go ahead and dip it in some water. We can get a good look at it here. So it makes this nice golden tone. I'm going to make sure you don't overheat it. Start getting blistering on the coin. That's no good. We want to keep these nice, pretty crisp details on there. So next, we're going to hop over to the 1-ton arbor press. That's this beast right here, and we're going to start folding it. For that, I got to grab another camera stand here. Get up close and personal with our arbor press. Thank you guys for sharing the live, tapping the screen, watching the show. I know this isn't the usual TikTok content, but I do appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If you'd like to get yourself a coin ring, you can go to coinringmaker.com. I'll again pin this link down here. This is how I make sales and make money, so please feel free to check out the website. You can use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10% as well. So now we're going to start folding this into kind of a cone shape. And for that, I use a doming block. And doming blocks are really nice because they have this spot on here. I'm pretty sure it's an inch across, but it's just perfect for quarters. You see how nicely that sits in there? And we'll get ourselves a little Delrin ball. This is a 3/4 inch if anybody's interested. And Delrin's just a really hard plastic. I used to use steel ball bearings, and I found that this Delrin helps protect the details a little bit better. There we go. Now we've got a nice first fold there. How's everybody liking this live so far? Interesting? Boring? Weird? What do you think? Let me know. What's rolling through your mind at the moment? You like it? You liking what you see? All right. Very good. This here is a 17-degree die. So it's got, I don't know, it's a chunk of machined steel, and it's got a 17-degree cone in there. So what we're going to do is place our coin in, and then we're going to get a 17-degree cone on top of that, so we can get a nice 17-degree bend on our coin. And the reason I don't do this right away, I do the doming block first, is you want to make sure you fold on the band evenly all the way around. And it's really easy to do that in like a circular shape compared to kind of a triangle shape that I'm using now. If you start with this, there's a tendency for it to unevenly bend and kind of warp and go funny. So that's why I do these two steps. Like, you can do it like this. You can just jump from the flat coin to the 17-degree die. That's what I used to do. But you get a much more even fold if you start with the doming block. So that's coming along really nicely. Thank you, guys. Now, I started with some really, really basic tools. Like, I've definitely thrown a bit of money into the tools I have to do this, but it's my full-time job now, which is pretty cool. So I can afford to get the nice fancy tools. But I started with just like a hammer and like a stick, basically. Total caveman stuff, and worked my way up. I've been doing it for like 3 years. So I've had a lot of practice. So now that we've worked on this a little bit, it has work hardened. Like I said, when you kind of fold and shape metal like this, it will harden. And then it gets kind of brittle. So it's more likely to snap if you keep working on it. So I'm going to go ahead and anneal this one more time. Soften it back up. The orange flame is kind of a dead giveaway that it's warm enough. You don't want to overdo it. And this one's going to be size 9 ring. So the next thing we're going to do is start stretching it out. And we're going to stretch it to a size 10. Because you can see it's got kind of a funnel shape to it at the moment. As we stretch it, it's going to maintain a bit of that funnel shape. Like, one side is just going to be a little wider out than the other one. So that's why I stretch it one size over. And then I can fix that shape by reducing one side and getting it down to our target size. A bit of the process behind what's going on here. So this is called a ring stretcher. It's a pretty dang cool tool. So when I lift up on this lever here, you can see the spike come out of the top of it. And it's wider on the base than it is at the top. So as it moves upward, it pushes out on these things. These are called splines. And that stretches the ring out. So that's how this works. So we just place our ring on the stretcher. Pull up the handle, and it starts stretching it out. One thing I do try to avoid is having a lot of metal on metal contact while I work on my rings. So here's our blue paper towel we used at the beginning, coming back to help protect these inside details from getting mashed up. And as we stretch it out, you can see that cone shape's getting a little less severe, but it's still hanging out. I'm gonna flip it over, stretch it a little bit. And the reason we're flipping it over is because it pushes on different parts of the ring, so it's less stressful, less likely to snap, and it's just easier to get it up to a larger ring size if you keep flipping it around every once in a while. I'll probably get this maybe like an 8.5 or a 9, and then anneal it again. As we keep working on it, it's going to keep work hardening. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, it's about 8.5. That's what I thought. So we'll go ahead and anneal it again. If anybody has any questions, again, feel free to ask. I do appreciate y'all coming in and watching me work. And there's that orange flame we're looking for. And turn that off. And stretch it a bit more. We'll probably get it to about, I don't know, probably like a 9.5. Then anneal it again. It depends on the type of coin I'm working on. So I have a wide range of options for coin rings. This one in particular is a 90% silver quarter. Those go for $99. But I also make rings out of like regular copper clad quarters, and those are $29. But they can turn your fingers green. So this one specifically is $99. This is a 90% silver 1996 quarter. Yeah, no problem. And if you're looking for like something with a wider band, like here's a finished quarter coin ring. This one's a little rough because it's from 32, so it's pretty old compared to this, which is super fresh. So it's gonna have really, really crisp details. If you want like a wider band, I do half dollars, 1 ounce silver round. So like here's how big like a Morgan dollar is. This one's really, really early work, so the details are really mashed up on it, but that's how thick they come out. They come out a lot nicer these days. See where we're sitting. How much if I send you the Morgan dollar? Currently I'm not doing custom orders, mostly because like when I do this, there's a chance that the ring like breaks while I'm working on it. That doesn't happen very often. But yeah, here's an example. So sometimes the rings will snap like this, and I feel like really, really terrible about it. And I just don't want to do that to someone else's coin. So at this time I don't accept custom orders. But I do have Morgan dollars on the website. You can pick different years. It's really just a precautionary. Like I don't want to end up ruining your family heirloom or collectible. That should be pretty close to a size 10. Yeah, I can do specific years. I've also got all 50 states. So if you want to get like a Texas quarter coin ring or something like that, I can do that as well. And I've got the state quarters in 90% silver and copper clad. Those have probably been the most popular. Those and the 64 half dollars. This thing is really just eating up my paper towel. I'm gonna take that off of there. It's coming along really nicely, but you see it's still got a bit of that cone shape to it, right? So that's why we're stretching one size over. And that's basically a size 10. You can see 10 peeking through there. So we'll go ahead and start reducing it. Hop it over here. Back to the same die we used to fold earlier. Now we're going to pop our ring inside of it and reduce it. So we're going to apply pressure to the top of the ring, and that's going to make this wider side smaller. It's actually pretty satisfying. Let me get that a little better in focus. This is just super wobbly. Hang on. Had a penny under it. I was just wiggling. That's much better. All right. There we go. Not a huge difference, but I think it looks much better. Let's see where we're sitting. So we're still pretty shy of a size 9, which is our target size. I'm going to try and get it to maybe like 8 3/4. Because on the inside of the ring here, there's a lip. It's hard to see. It's there though. And it's pretty uncomfortable. There you can see it right here, this kind of lip right there. So we're going to have to cut that away. So as we reduce this, we're going to go a little under our target size. And then get rid of that lip. Don't want no lip. Now you can see the cut edge on the other side is the one that's actually flared out a little bit. So we're going to even those up. Super slightest change there. Look at the shape of that. That looks much nicer than that cone we had before. It's looking good. So now we just got to get rid of that inside lip. Get the overview shot for this one. And for this part, we're going to go back to our old friend, the deburring tool. Got a nice little 3D printed ring holder here. Pop our ring in there. It's much easier to hold it with this than it is with your hand. And let's see if we can show you that lip before we get started. Can y'all see that? Right on the edge on the inside there. That's what's got to go. Get a little closer. We got 2,700 likes on the live. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this has been entertaining, I guess. Maybe a little educational, interesting, and at the least. Now they do make these deburring blades in different sizes, and I think this big one isn't really agreeing with this quarter very well. It's kind of being a little jumpy. So we're going to go to the smaller blade. Now this one does work a little slower, but it's also less likely to kind of jump off and scratch the inside of the ring. It also cuts a really smooth channel there. I'll do the walk around test, see if we got it all. Looks like there's a little bit left here. With fresh cut silver, it gets really reflective, so it's hard to see if I got all of the lip or not, so I make sure to do the feel test. I'm going to take my finger, I feel all the way around, make sure it's nice and smooth, and it looks like it passes. Get a good look at it. Very nice. Now we're going to check our ring size and see how close we are to a size 9. Hopefully, pretty close. Man, we are like a hair off. That is less than a quarter off. That's pretty good. We'll go back to our reduction die here and try with all our might not to reduce this more than 1/8 of a size. Like, oof. With that much, we went over a size 9. Give it the slightest stretch on the ring stretcher. With sizing, I usually go a bit back and forth between the ring stretcher and a reduction die until I really lock right in on the ring size like that. Right there. That's perfect. Now I get to do my favorite part. There's no more stressful things that I could mess up while working on this. I just get to clean it up and make it nice and shiny. My favorite part. It's looking really cool. Very nice, very nice. Let's clean it up. So you can see we've got kind of this dull gray color to it. When we anneal coins, it leaves behind the substance called fire scale. And it's really hard to get off copper-clad coins. 90% silver and fine silver, it's much easier to remove. What I like to use is this. This is called Mother's Polish. And we just get a little dab of it on a microfiber cloth and just kind of rub on it until all this fire scale melts away. It's actually pretty awesome. Probably for the first, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years, removing fire scale was like super difficult. I used to use a steel wool, which would kind of scratch up the surface of it. This works so much better. And it really doesn't take like a huge amount of elbow grease. Like you can already see parts of it are getting very nice and shiny. And you can see on the, I know it's kind of gross, but you can see on the rag all the fire scale just kind of sloughing off of there. It's like magic. And again, if anybody wants to get a coin ring from me, you can visit coinringmaker.com. I have my shop link on my TikTok profile. If you haven't followed me yet, make sure to hit that follow button. Hit 3,000 likes on this live. That's pretty dang good. Appreciate y'all for watching. We're just getting this nice and shiny now. It's gonna be pretty. Look how shiny that is. Woo! So we'll try and get as much of this polish off it as we can. We'll give it a little dunk in some water. Give it one final dry up after that, and it should be good to go. Look at that. And this thing's going to have a mirror finish. It's going to be very pretty. And that's one thing I really like about the 90% silver proof coins compared to like the constitutional silver is they've probably just sat in their, like, I don't know what you would call it, case or container, like their whole existence. So they're in perfect condition. Make super nice rings. You get the tail side details on the inside of the ring. 1996. See if I can get closer. And I do like to do a bit of a follow-up polish with just like a jewelry polishing cloth. Little disposable ones. And this just makes them pop that much more. But they're a lot more effective if you do the other polish first. I know my fingers are dirty, but this ring is shiny. Let's see if we can get a better shot of it. Let's see. Oh yeah, you see how reflective that is? My camera mount right here that I'm filming on is red, right? Super red. Check out. You can see my camera mount on the ring itself. That's a nice polish. Got the nice "In God We Trust" on the side there. It does cut the "we" off it, but you get "In God Trust," which is, I mean, it's pretty good. You get the year, $quarter on the inside, United States of America, and Liberty. And these are kind of reversible, so you can wear them with the year facing out. You can wear them with Liberty facing out. Pretty cool. I think that came out really nice. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask right now. And if you haven't hit the follow button yet, go ahead and hit the follow button. Usually if I lay something underneath it. It'll help focus. Look how nice that is. Pop her on her side. It's like you can't even get a good look at what color the ring is because it's reflecting everything in the room. That proof silver is very nice and shiny. And since these are 90% silver, they're quite a bit tougher than like a fine silver ring. So this detail is going to last quite a bit longer. Well, again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this live. I do invite you to go check out my website, coinringmaker.com, and go follow me on YouTube. My channel is called Coin Ring Maker. There's a lot of really long form content on there of me making other coins into rings. So y'all have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.